Okay, so I kind of changed my focus here a little bit. I had another video up that was a Telecaster refinish project, and I wound up selling the parts for that Telecaster for more than the Telecaster was worth. So I had this little Bullet Squire Bullet Stratocaster sitting around doing nothing. So I decided to try to make a Stevie Ray Vaughan Butterscotch or Scotch guitar copy, which I thought was really cool. You can see him in the Live from Austin City Limits shows on YouTube from '89, and that guitar is just great. So I had the Squire Bullet, and it was real blue, as you can see, and it had the white pickguard with the really cheap Squire hardware on it. So I'm going to take that off, and you can see I've started to strip the body and sand a little bit of it. And this was really deep blue, so rather than sand it all, I used some paint stripper, and that paint stripper just eats that finish right off, and it just leaves this little blue stuff left over, and you knock it off real easy with sandpaper. It had a really good neck. And the neck is really straight and really nice. What I did is and some people may say bad things, but I didn't want any logos on it at all. So what I did is, and you can actually see a little bit of the Squire mark. What I did is I took some 600 grit wet dry sandpaper, and I started lightly sanding that Squire mark off. And I found that not only did it remove the logo, but it polished the neck up to glass smooth. So I said, wow, that's great. This neck would be, this is a fairly decent neck. So I took all the hardware off, and I polished the entire neck, so now the neck is perfectly smooth. And I did the same thing on the back. I removed the Made in Indonesia and everything else, and I really polished the back of the headstock up. And it had a little Squire decal at the bottom. You can kind of see where it's a little bit lighter, so I took that off. But this is a guitar for my own use. So I think I might design a custom logo with my name on it up here, which might be pretty cool. As you can see, I have the whole thing taken apart. Here's my tuners and the bushings. It had and this is interesting. This is a hardtail. This is a hardtail body. As you can see, here's the back, mostly stripped off and sanded, just a little test area to see. And this was a hardtail, and it had pretty decent hardtail bridge, but it had really cheap saddles on it. So I had some nice saddles from another project from Guitar Fetish, so I replaced the saddles with those. I'm going to use the same bridge. Here's the back plate. I have some aged knobs from another Stratocaster project that I did, and I'm going to be putting on this reddish tortoiseshell pickguard, and the other matching pickups to those matching knobs over there that came off the other Stratocaster. That came off just a regular Mexican 95 Mexican Stratocaster. So those are some pretty decent single coil pickups. I'm going to get us some other pots and everything else and hook those right up. And that baby's going to go right on here like that. It looks funny now, but I'm going to have the whitish cream color body with the reddish pickguard and the white pickups, and it'll look almost like the Butterscotch, or almost like Stevie Ray Vaughan's Scotch guitar. So this is phase one. I'll shoot another video when I have the whole body all stripped off and everything else and ready to go to paint. You can see that this thing was blue, and that's just my little test spot where I tested it inside the pickup cavity. I hate that giant hogged out cavity, but this is just something to play around with, and it's just something for me to play in my room. So stand by for the next video.